So in the next lesson of this season, Constant Evolution, we're going to be talking about how to conduct a performance review. There's 4 steps to it. Step number 1, backtest the previous month, right? So let's talk about it a little bit. Performance review for your trading plan is similar to building that case study, except for the case study, you backtest roughly a year, maybe 2 years worth of data to gather those 100 examples that perfectly match your trading personality, from an execution to management to targets to stop losses, right? So now let's say you did that and a month has passed, or 3 months have passed, or 6 months have passed. A performance review, when you conduct your performance review, might depend on what kind of personality you chose. So if you're a day trader, it means you're pretty much actively trading, right? You probably have about 10 positions per month that you execute. Maybe more, maybe a little bit less, probably around 10% on average, or 10 trades on average, right? So that could be enough. 10 trades could be enough for you to do a performance review every single month, right? Now, if you're a swing trader, or an advanced swing trader, or a hybrid trader, maybe you might want to choose, but this might specifically apply to swing traders. You might want to choose to do your performance review every 3 months, so every quarter, or maybe even if you're not that actively trading, maybe even every 6 months, right? The quicker you do your performance review, obviously the easier it is. The longer you wait, the longer it might take to actually do a performance review. So let's just say every single month or every single quarter, you might want to do a performance review. And this is what it looks like. Step 1 of your performance review is backtest the previous month, or the previous quarter, or the previous 6 months, depending on how often you do your trading performance review, right? And let's say you've live traded your new trading plan for January, February, and March. You took 30 positions, right? And you have your live trading data. But what are you going to compare this to, right? What are you comparing this data to, so that you know whether you've actually did well or if you underperformed, right? Or if maybe you did extremely well and you overperformed, right? You got to create yourself a benchmark. So obviously you can follow a benchmark such as the S&P 500 standard, right? A lot of people, a lot of traders, a lot of investors follow the S&P 500 as the benchmark. But let's get a little bit more personal here. Let's get a little bit more creative, right? So a benchmark for your trading plan pretty much means that you got to figure out if you were executing fully mechanically for that period of time, January, February, March, that quarter, right, that you've executed your trading plan live. For that same quarter, for that same time period, you should know exactly if you executed your plan mechanically, perfectly, what would be the benchmark, performance benchmark for that trading plan. So again, you do a backtesting session for January, for February, for March, just like you did for the case study. But you only do it for those 3 months, or that 1 month, that previous month, right? For that period of time that you're reviewing your performance for. And you build the benchmark. So now you collect all the examples, all the potential trades that you could have executed as per your trading plans. Targets, stop losses, execution, all of that management has to be the same as your trading plan. And now you have 2 data sets. You have your backtested data for that 3-month period, and you have your live trading data for that 3-month period, right? That's step 1. Step 2, review your actual performance, right? So at this point, you can actually look at those 2 data samples live and backtested and see how they compare, right? Chances are your live performance might be lacking a little bit compared to your backtesting performance, right? You potentially, timing was an issue. Maybe you were struggling with timing your entries a little bit. So your backtesting performance review is actually better than your live performance, right? So you can gather insights like that, comparing the 2 data samples together. And now this is where you really find insights, lessons, flaws, and adjustments that you can make to your trading plan, right? So that's step 2. After you do step 1, collect the data sample, backtest that data sample for that specific period of time that you're reviewing your performance for. In step 2, you review the 2 data samples, the backtested and the live, and see where you can find some lessons, see your performance discrepancy. Maybe your live performance was 20%, whereas your back testing, your actual benchmark performance should have been 30 or 40. So now you can see, okay, I could have been a little bit more aggressive with execution here, or I could have been a little bit more patient right there because of timing has really not been working in my favor. I've been wrong on timing a few times. So you can gather insights like that. And then step 3 is review those insights, right? So you're pretty much collecting data. What you're doing here is you're constantly collecting data. Every single time you choose to do a performance review, whether it's monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, every year, again, like I said, the quicker you do it, the sooner you do it, the quicker it will take you to do this, So every single month, it will be pretty quick to collect that benchmark performance for your trading plan, collect the insights and so on, right? So in step 3 is you review those insights, right? Because some of those insights might be applicable right now, but some others might not have enough data, right? You might gather one potential insight that is based on 2 positions, but you've taken 200 trades or 100 trades based all of them together combined with your case study as an example. Now you got to look at all of those insights and got to figure out for yourself which one you should be implementing. That is step 3. You review the insights, you catalog them. Some of these insights are for management. Some of these insights are for execution. Some of those insights are for target placement. Some of them are for stop loss placement. Some of them are for the strategy itself. Some of them might be emotional, insights. So you catalog them based on different categories, right? And you keep a log. Every single month you do a performance review, you toss new insights, new lessons, new findings into this paper or this log of your insights based on your live performance compared to your benchmark performance of your trading plan for that period of time. And then you might want to choose, this one specific insight in regards to management, I've seen it occur the previous month, I've seen it occur the previous quarter, I've seen it occur previously in my case study results, right? So I might choose to, okay, I've seen it enough. I'm going to dig into it a little bit further, and I'm going to choose to implement this insight into my trading plan, right? Others, they're good to keep at the back of my mind, but I don't have enough data yet to make changes to my trading plan based on these other insights. So you keep them there until the next time you do your performance review, a month later or a quarter later. And then you look at your insights again and you choose, okay, this same lesson keeps on popping up all the time. Let's toss it into my trading plan and make that adjustment, right? So that is step 4. Step 4 is decide which insights you're going to bring and actually add to your trading plan, make those adjustments, that fine tuning, and which insights you're going to keep there in the back, just listed on a piece of paper or on a document somewhere with your case study, with your benchmark performance, with your live data, just keep on building on top of that case study that we talked about in lesson 1. This is just building on top of it, right? On top of that case study, you're adding another quarter to the data or another month to that data, with insights, with trade examples and so on, plus your live trade data. You're just literally building on top of that case study with more information, more data, more insights, more trades, more examples, right? And so step 4 is literally deciding when you're going to make changes to your trading plan based on some of those insights. So if you see some of the insights, the lessons occurring over and over and over again, and you believe that that action is hindering your performance compared to the benchmark, then all of a sudden you can take that insight, plop it into your trading plan, and make that adjustment. Otherwise, you keep the insights there till the next performance review, a month later, a quarter after, and so on. So 4 steps to conduct a performance review. It's a little bit different than what you're probably used to. I think it's a little bit more productive, and it's something that you're going to be collecting, building this log of information, of data that you're going to be referencing over and over and over again. It's not something that you just do once, put it in a folder on your computer and you never open it again. This is something that you build on top of every single month and literally create a case study for that advanced swing trader hybrid personality that you built, or whatever personality it is. So let me list the stages again. Step 1 of performance review is do backtest the previous month or the previous quarter so that you create a benchmark that you can compare your live data to, your live performance to this benchmark performance of how your trading plan should have actually performed during this previous month or during this previous quarter in comparison to your live data. So that's step 1. Do a backtesting session, collect the information, collect the data, right? So that you build a benchmark. And this is something that you add to that case study from the previous backtesting session, right? And something that you keep on adding every single time you do it. So that data just keeps on getting larger and larger and larger, and you have more information that you can work with. Step 2, once you do that, you review your actual performance. So you compare live performance, benchmark performance, and you see how you differ. You know, what is your discrepancy here? Maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 10%, maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 1%, and you've did extremely well and there's minimal discrepancy between benchmark performance and your live performance. But if there's a big difference, now you can actually go deeper into it and figure out, okay, my benchmark performance was 40%, but my live performance was 20%. Which positions did I miss? Why did I miss them? Create the lessons, the insights, catalog them based on management, execution, strategy, targets, stop losses, whatever. That's step 2. And then step 3 is review all those insights. So step 2 is review the performance and create the insights. Step 3 is review the insights, right? Now you have a list and you review. And you have insights from everything, from your case study, from your previous performance sessions, from your current performance review session. You look at all the insights and you choose if you should be implementing any one of them into your trading plan so that your trading plan matches the benchmark or comes closer to that benchmark performance. That's why the lessons, the insights are so important, right? And that's why we include them within our trading plan as little rules, guidelines, principles, right? And then step 4 is literally decide if any of them are meant to, or decide if any one of them you're supposed to be implementing into your trading plan and which ones you're keeping on the side for the next performance session. So 1, backtest. 2, review your performance. 3, review the insights. 4, decide which insights you're implementing, which insights you're going to keep on the sideline because you need to collect more information, more data. That is it. That is how you do a performance review for your trading plan. So again, depending on your personality, day traders might want to do this every single month. Swing traders might want to do this every single quarter, or in general, you might just want to choose to do it every single month, whatever it is, you know. But I think this process is major key so that you know exactly how to evolve your personality and bring it closer to that benchmark performance. So that is it for lesson number 2, performance review, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.